Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts Broadcasting Radio. The Frankenstein Earphone Radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Welcome to Ace Soft Shoes House of Tools.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Frankenstein Control, everybody.
The less said about V-Rye's intro, the better.
That was recording? That was just spitballing there.
It's probably really quiet.
Yeah.
And then it'll increase the mystery.
Yeah.
It'll increase the
Who knows what he said?
It'll
it
increase
was offensive, though.
the white mystery flavor of Airheads.
Offensive. It didn't sound like I said a slur.
What horrible, cancelable thing did V-Rye say? Find out never.
Find out next time on Crimes of the Internet.
Crimestein Control. We should turn Frankenstein Control into a true crime podcast.
Those are all the rage. I mean, I know enough serial killer facts and genocide people to do that.
But it's all made up.
Welcome to Frankenstein Control. Today we are going back in time. Back to the 1970s. Woodstock has just ended, and so has the lives of 25 people. All school children. 85-year-old school children. The murderer in question? Unknown. But a single clue has led us to this conclusion. And then, it just, it shows, a fucking plastic hand, and it only has one finger. Mm-hmm. And the finger...
It's the plastic foot that I got out of the vending machine.
Well, no, and the one finger is stuck through one of those paper ketchup cups that you get at McDonald's. And it's just stuck to it. It's like, what could it mean? Found at the scene of the crime. I just like that image. It's funny. Oh, welcome to Frankenstein Control, everybody. The true crime podcast with a heart of lead. I'm your host, Taylor Russell. In front of me is Ada.
I'm Aiden, and I'm actually immune to crime. If you try to commit a crime against me, it just doesn't.
Oh, and in front of me, as always, is B-Rye.
I'm B-Rye, and I am all of the Hillside Stranglers.
Oh my God, each one?
Yes. I'm their gem fusion.
Didn't they strangle each other? Gem fusion. Gem fusion sounds like an artist of some kind.
It does, actually.
What's going on? I'm Gem fusion.
That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna paint penises on the road. That's art now.
That sounds like a right can't meme kind of a thing.
Well, I can't meme either, so...
This is a gender person, and they think it's art to paint penises on the road where children can see it. What are you going to do? Wake up, America.
Those gender people, it make me so upset. I want to inspect the genitals of actual children. Thank you, the South. You're dumb as golden. Anyway, enough real things that make us depressed. Let's talk about fake things that make us laugh. Let us escape the bonds of reality and go into a magical world.
Real talk, that's actually why I didn't do an intro last episode.
It was fucking depressing.
The news was just too rage-inducing. There wasn't enough of it that formed a cohesive narrative that I could make jokes about, and it was all just rage-inducing bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a bunch of fundy Christian pedophiles want to take over the government. It's fine. Anyway.
Hooting goddamn animal dipshits that we are subject to the whims of.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, guess what? You know what I've been watching?
What you been watching?
A lot of Quentin reviews, so I got nothing to talk about. Ada, what are you watching these days?
Adventure Time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You've been hitting the adventure books.
I actually need to rewatch that. I watched it. I followed it a lot early on, missed a bunch in the middle, and came back when it was trippy as fuck.
Yeah. It's always been weird and
yeah,
very strange.
It has. I mean, that's definitely true.
It's fun to because I'm watching it with Jen. I'm not just rewatching it by myself. So it's fun to see there's that character, that one character that gets an entire fucking plot line later.
Yeah.
And it's just a joke in this episode that they're introduced. Stuff like that. It's been pretty common.
There's a character in the Stormlight Archive named Pattern, and this is only going to make
Patternment
sense.
Butler.
Yeah, this is only going to make sense for like a third of our audience. But
Hooray!
there's a character named Pattern in the Stormlight Archive, and I always liked Kumail Nanjiani as Prismo for his voice because I thought it would be appropriate.
Who's Prismo?
Prismo is like the prism guy in the space hole, and he's on the wall.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Yeah. He would be a good Pattern.
On the SCP wiki, there's Pattern Screamers.
I gotta read more SCPs.
Pattern screamer.
Pattern Screamers.
What's a pattern screamer?
Someone who
It's-
screams in a pattern?
Is it just you wearing plaid?
No, it's
That would make sense.
Pattern Screamers are beings made of nothing from a universe before us, and they're trying to get through a wall by making people aware of them. In the same way that if you were in a dark room, you can still kind of see things,
Yeah.
but that's mostly like your mind putting those things into your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Picture that, but for existing instead of just the dark. And that's what a Pattern Screamer is. It's really fucking complex, weird shit, high concept crap that I dig and am terrible at explaining. But let me tell you something, Mirai. What's your favorite SCP?
I like the laws of the Grocodus. I think that's one where there's this weird creature that's controlled by these laws, and it has a bunch of floating hands that follow it and shit. And
Whoa.
It's,
It sounds like Highway Star.
there's
Feet.
I'll tell you what my favorite SCP is. It's the one that spoofs me the most. It's
Oh.
the horrifying, elongated being that hates its face being seen.
Oh, the Shy Guy.
And it'll like
Yeah.
rip through all like walls if you even see like a recording of its face until it kills you.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
like, nothing can
if
contain it.
you see a picture of its face, a recording of its face, any kind of clear picture of its face, it will know, and it will it can do anything to try and get you. And like, there's a whole bunch of fun little addendum parts to the article,
Yeah.
like recounting incidents in which, like,
It got out.
Yeah, it got out because it saw somebody, and it was like, and it crossed the country, and it fucked up a whole bunch of cars and killed a bunch of people on the way, and it was awful. Why the fuck did we do this?
Yeah.
And there was one that was really funny where they sent a D-class down to like the bottom of the Mariana Trench, and then he's like, okay, open the envelope. And he's like, what the fuck is this thing? It's gross. It's really weird looking. Like, oh yeah, sure is. And then they just waited, and sure enough, that motherfucker swam all the way down to the ocean's bottom and fucked up his submarine.
Oh, Jesus. That's rad as hell.
And I'm trying to remember, I think this was either part of my fucked up imagination that wanted this to happen, or this did actually happen, but they they showed a picture of it to some guy on a space station.
I was going to say, why don't they just show it to somebody on the moon?
Yeah, they showed it to a guy on a space station, and then the next thing that happened was redacted. I'm like, damn it! I wanted to see how it jumped into space like One Punch Man.
It just T-poses and then starts spinning. Leaves the atmosphere like those like Barbie pull string things.
Fucking, was it ribbon gliders or something?
That same model has been used over and over
Oh, yeah.
for different variations
They had
of
a
toy.
quote boy and quote girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
needlessly
funny.
gendered toy
Yeah.
versions of them. My cousin had one of those, and I cranked the pull cord real hard, and it shot into the ceiling really hard, and probably left an indent in my uncle's.
I'd like to think the fairy came down and like you looked at the ribbon dancer's face and it had like a big dent in its head, like you're like, oh no, cousin Miriam can't see this. She can't see you this way. Let me tell you about the rabbits. And you shot your doll. I mean, you shot your cousin's doll. Look what you've done. What's your favorite SCP?
My
Ada?
first introduction to SCPs were the some of the earlier ones, and just the like, if it sees you, it kills you, and it's so edgy, and you can't kill it or it can't die. So I initially regarded that whole project, like just wrote out that whole project as just This is stupid.
Just creepypasta garbage.
Yeah.
I remember like the old days when it was just a recurrent series of threads on the export of 4chan before it ever had its own standalone.
Yes,
like,
we were
website.
there when the laws were written.
I was there. What is it that Elrond says? I was there 3,000 years ago, Gandalf.
He goes, oh yeah, I remember. Elrond turned to Gandalf and he's like, I stand here in God, what to treasure I cannot have.
Why is Elrond...
It's Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Both the same actor.
He's the Red Coil from...
Yeah. No, I know him as... I know... So
Red Coil!
I know Hugo Weaving primarily as...
Megatron?
as Agent Smith and Elrond.
Oh,
And
yeah.
There was actually an article. It was an interview with Hugo Weaving where he straight up admitted, I have action figures of Elrond and Agent Smith, and sometimes they fight.
Oh my god. And then he mentioned Mr. Chickens at the end of the article, and I went,
Nobody can beat him. Him and his freaking... Actually, Mr. Chicken's MP5, his very realistic MP5 submachine gun, came from the Morpheus action figure that I had from The Matrix Reloaded.
what if I told you that you were a chicken, Neo? Buck, buck, bagok. I'm coming for that. I'm coming for that cake, Fred.
Shut up. Back on topic.
Sorry. Your favorite SCP. That's right. You dismissed.
Yeah, I dismissed
SCPs
it
as creepypasta shit.
And the biggest offender of that one I always thought was the Globster one. That's like this immortal lizard thing that can't be killed and hates humanity.
Yeah.
Wants to kill everyone.
That's the one that
682.
everyone knows.
682.
And one of the things-
and of course, it's the most famous one because always the worst shit makes it.
Yeah.
But what won me over about it, to the point where that one's not my favorite, but I do like it a lot, is like the it's just like list of like, here's all these other SCPs that can do a lot of destruction. Mm-hmm. Let's try to kill the Globster with it.
That is the funnest part of the article. That's what makes it good. Like the all the shit about it is like, oh, they were disgusting. I hated them. I don't like living things. And it's like, shut up.
Yeah.
But then they get to the, okay, let's try and kill it. Here's a log of all the funny things we did to try and kill it. And that kind of stuff's great. I love that crap.
Do they ever show it the Shy Guy's face? Because they should try that one.
They should try that one. I wonder what would happen.
Pretty sure they did.
They probably did.
Yeah.
It was probably something like the Shy Guy got real bad and then he just gave up after a while.
They should give it the one that I found that was just somebody's bimbofication cow transformation fetish story.
The fuck are you talking about, Ada?
It's like some milk, and if you drink it, you get really big tits, and then they start producing milk, and then you get stupid, and you have to get milked constantly.
What the fuck are we talking about? Did I just have a stroke?
It's a
Disturbing hentai.
It is not.
It is.
You fucking liar.
I looked it up because on a subreddit trans, a very popular meme is the I think it's Sayori from Literature Club, where she's doing the Drake meme with the whole like hands up and then like pointing happily, but it's redrawn as that. And I wanted to do a variation of that, so I looked up the template, and the top one that I found, the thing that they're pointing at is like SCP, whatever that number is. So I looked it up and read it, and I'm like, okay, this is just somebody's cow transformation milk production thing.
Yeah.
This is just fetish art, fetish writing.
You know, maybe the SCP wiki should be sued by that Russian guy. Like, maybe they don't deserve to have it, huh?
But to answer your question, my favorite
is not the booby cow.
It's not.
It's not the bimbo cow.
It's not.
Oh.
It's the vending machine.
Oh yeah, the vending machine's great.
Which one? It's the vending machine and the machine that has like rough and fine settings.
Yes. Both of those are great. I love those because they're both the same in the same
it's
vein.
So experimental. It's like, let's do this, see what happens.
Yeah, like both of those are very ripe for this. The same thing with 682 with the big lobster monster that you were talking about. It's just like the fun part of that article is all of the different sections telling of the goofy experiments they have with it, and the vending machine, and then the God, I can't remember what that machine with the fine coarse all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I forgot what that machine's called, but both of those are really fun.
Yeah.
Just a whole lot of fun to read through. The interdimensional vending machine it's a lot funnier than the coarse fine machine, but the clockwork something or other.
I'm just going to make a quick comment here. There's a noise in the bathroom. I don't think it'll get picked up on the mic. It's just some pipes running. I'm just trying to put a footnote in here so whoever's editing this doesn't go insane.
What do you mean, whoever? It's me.
Yes. Doesn't go insane wondering what that noise is.
Oh,
if
no, I
it's
know what
picked
it
up
is,
by
because our toilet does it, too.
Okay.
It did it to me when I was sitting on it once, and it scared the shit out of me.
Oh, God. My toilet's an SCP.
Ada, if this goes in the video when B-Rice talking about the noise, you need to insert like a funny sound effect in the background to make him look crazy.
I found the milk one.
Oh no!
It's 686.
686.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well I'll put that on my list of things to never read. I mean, this isn't my favorite, but in that same vein, somebody did make an SCP article that essentially makes fun of a fetish. Mm-hmm. I forget the number, but it's called the Vor Hole.
Deepest Vor.
And the whole article is basically constructed to it's a hole that people throw themselves into to get eaten. Mm-hmm. And they sort of like the article is basically designed to mock Vor, and they turned it into sort of like a cult. Like a cult of flesh worshippers and reprobates, and they get vored. And basically, the whole article revolves around them through written language getting revenge on all those weirdos who like vor. But no, let's see. My favorite one. Well, I know I talked on a previous episode that one of my favorites is 2998, what is it? Anomalous Transmission. I really like that one because it's very investigative. Like, it feels very like you're uncovering things. It's more of a like, it's both a compelling article with a very interesting anomaly in it, and then also like you go through all these different iterations of the same article over and over again with like different levels of clearance. And it's sort of like an experience. It's a lot of fun. But another one that I've become quite fond of is this one. I forget the number. It's called A Voice Behind Me, and it's not what you think it is. Mm-hmm. It's not a spooky ghost that waits behind you and goes and like licks your earlobe. It's not one of those. It's a guy with a lot of brain problems dies, and then he comes back and he's God, but he's more God than God. And the way they write it, it's very interesting how and why all of this happens. And, like, the logistics of how this person is able to do all this crazy shit. And why he's crazy is because he's becoming this better than a god creature. It's really bizarre. And it gets into, like, all this metaphysical shit. Like, kind of covers like, okay, so, we're here in the real world. You watch a TV show like Friends, right? That's a universe, right? And that within the universe of the Friends universe, they don't know that they're in a TV show, right? They're just living their lives as Bert and Hobeck and whatever the characters of Friends are.
Those are the names.
I know Chandler. That's who I know.
And Bert and Hobeck and Rachel.
Chandler, Rachel, Bert, and Hobeck.
And Smegulon.
Put a picture of Bert Hobeck and Smegulon on the screen. There they are. They're beautiful. But anyway, the universe of Friends, they don't know they're in a show. They're just living their friends' lives. But their lives are written by us who are in our universe. And then when you think about the Friends universe, if Chandler or Hobeck or Schmegulon, if any of them made like a comic book or a show of their own within that, you could consider that universe that they create through fiction lower than them.
Yeah.
And they're lower than us. And so this guy who died and came back all crazy, that his deal is that someone in a universe above ours figured out a way to create something below him that could one day supersede him. And so it created this kind of crazy-ass recursive flight upwards through dimension after dimension. And so that's how he's able to get all these crazy fucking reality warping powers. And it's really I'm a fan of the high concept weird shit.
Yeah.
That's my favorite things that when people come up with on the SCP stuff. Like all the ruined universes and...
I got a good one.
Ooh, what you got for me, right?
It took me a long time to remember the name of the one. I don't remember the number like you do. But
I only remember some of the numbers.
But it's the one where it's one of
Oh
the
my
ones...
god, wait, was it 3115? Oh, I gotta check that later. Sorry. If 3115 is the number of a voice behind me, I'm gonna be very proud and also sad at myself.
This is one of the ones where it's like the location is the anomaly, and the people who live there wouldn't be anomalous if they weren't there.
Oh.
But it's like this...
Hold on. It's 3812,
3812, voice behind me?
apparently.
Okay. Hey, I knew it was 3 at the beginning.
There you go.
Anyway.
Sorry to interrupt.
So it's
It's one of the ones where like the people wouldn't be anomalous except for the fact that they're in the place that's anomalous.
Oh my god, is it the town of Brigadoon?
No.
Oh.
It's called Pikes and Wagners. And
Pikes and Wagners?
Yeah, and
is
it's
that our
basically-
sponsor for this episode?
Sure, by
This episode is brought to you by Pipes and Wagners.
Pikes and Wagners brand jerky.
God, I can go for
it's-
some jerky right now.
It's basically a take on the old like Hatfield and McCoy hillbilly feud. It's like this anomalous valley, presumably in like West Virginia or somewhere rural. I don't really fully remember where. But it's like this backwater like valley that's anomalous, and the two families there are feuding with each other, and they can't die. So or like it just turns into like it basically becomes this like never-ending like respawning Slayer match of hillbillies.
Yeah. TF2.
And
That sounds awesome. What a great idea.
It's just great.
I mean, that's the real reason why I keep coming back to SCP shit. It's this wonderful free forum for people to just, scatter fun ideas, and like the best ones sort of rise to the top a lot of the time. It's a nice way to vet a lot of crap in a lot of ways until you run into fucking cow bimbo
Yeah.
fetish.
It's almost like
What the fuck?
experiment
Can't
as
get
like
over
a-
that. How did that get past anyone?
Yeah.
Is there a J at the end of the name? Is there a J at the end of the number of that article?
I don't think so.
Because if there's a J at the end of it, it means it's a joke article. Like the
Nope.
SCP-420J, which is exactly what you think it is, and it's very stupid.
Well, it's just milk that turns you into a cow. Basically.
There was another SCP-J article.
Increased sensitivity of the nipples in both males and females.
No. Oh yeah. Subject change. There's another SCP-J article that I really liked where they decide that the sun is evil, and the whole article is recounting ways that they've tried to destroy the sun, and they all end in like they're all really stupid Monty Python-esque sort of shitty dumbass things that they do to try and kill the sun, and like Monty Python is the best way to describe it, because like as I was reading it, all the different ways that they try to kill the sun are that kind of specific brand of ridiculous, and like way too way too resource intensive, and lots of people die in really dumb ways, and it's very amusing. Another SCP-J article that I really like is this one of one of the doctors. One of the doctors at this one site is so bad at driving that any vehicle he gets behind instantly causes horrific, accidents that kill dozens, if not hundreds of people. And it's all by accident. And they have a lot of funny pictures to go with it. Like they have like an old picture of some, monster truck show or demolition derby or something back in who knows when, and it's a picture of a school bus going off a ramp and it's on fire. One time he was able to find himself behind the wheel of a school bus, and this happened, and it's all very stupid, but I like that kind of shit though. I like when they cut loose and they have a little fun.
Shenanigans are good.
Shenanigans are good.
What's that organization that's like counter to the SCP Society? That's like something Carter and Dark or something?
Marshall Carter and Dark.
Yeah, that's what it. I always thought that was cool.
There's a lot of organizations that work in tandem with sometimes, and then very much against other times. You got the Sarkic cults. You got the Church of the Broken God. You got Marshall Cardinal in the Dark. You got Dr. Wondertainment. You got the...
I remember Dr. Wondertainment.
The Bureau of something or other happenings. Oh, shit. I forget. But yeah, there's a lot. The Serpent's Hand.
I just remembered Marshall Carter in Dark.
I watch a lot of the Explorer series while I work on things. Yeah. You know what? Also, hey, big old kudos to the Exploring series. I like that channel a lot. It's great. If you got a lot of time to spend at a computer working on shit like I do, ain't nothing better than just put on a couple episodes of him, and he'll tell you all about SCP articles that you're too busy to fucking read with your eyes, but you can listen to with your ears.
Yeah.
That's how, yeah.
And retain halfway with your brain. That's
And you
melted.
can taste them with your mouth. And feel them with your sensitive nipples.
No! Oh!
Probably out of time. We should end it on that.
Yeah.
Is it really overtime?
No.
No, we still got things to talk about.
You still got 6 minutes of nipple talk.
No!
You're in.
no!
You started this. You got to see it through to the end.
SCP-123, easy as do re mi. I actually don't know what SCP-123 is. I should know that because it's such a funny number. I know SCP-2000 is Bigfoot. I'm serious. I'm
Yeah.
not making funny. SCP-2000 is Bigfoot, but like it's only Bigfoot on the surface, and then of course in classic SCP fashion, you go down to the bottom of the article and it's like 05 access only, and you click it, and then you're like, whoa, this ain't Bigfoot no more. And it's pretty fun. SCP-5000 is a cool alternate reality kind of one too, and it's framed really neat. It's about a lot of things, but mostly it's about a guy who finds a funny suit of armor, and he's able to survive the end of the world because of the suit of armor. And it's kind of like his logs uncovering that the world was ended by the Foundation in his universe, and him trying to uncover the mystery as to why. And
I like the space whale one. That's a good one.
Space Whale?
Yeah, you never heard of it.
whale.
The Ballad of the Windfish?
It's literally there's just like
It just hit me.
yes,
Fucking Bebo.
Oh god, Bebo. I was googling among other things. Something reminded me of Bebo while we were waiting to set up, and I googled Bebo, and I found a Sims mod where you can play as Harry. Includes hairy, flabby skin texture.
Oh, God.
Play as Harry from Bebo.
I'd want to do that. It sounds great.
What we've always wanted.
All the zany sim shit that you can do.
Yeah.
You just do it with Harry, and it all makes sense suddenly.
Yeah.
He lives in his funny universe where Harry is simultaneously the most powerless and the most powerful person within his universe.
Yeah. He defied the devil and left hell just by pure willpower.
But then the crazy guy with the cheese hat made him eat cards.
No one is going to know what we were talking about.
Okay, you raise a good point.
Yeah.
If you want a disappointing time,
Yes.
Google the Flash series. Actually, you might not even. Maybe I think it's on YouTube because Flash is straight up dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Flash is super dead.
There's an ancient 20-year-old Flash series from early Newgrounds called Bebo the Cat What Has Facial Hair.
Oh, I thought it was Bebo the cat who smokes.
I think it's Bebo the Cat What Has Facial Hair.
You're probably right. You know about it. You're more familiar with it than I.
It's this crudely animated guy whose face is like an 80s guy photo.
Pretty sure we've talked about this.
I'm
Some
sure
Canadian dude.
we've talked about Bebo. I want to go back to the space whale thing.
Yeah, yeah.
should've wasted more time on
Finish
Bebo.
us off with the space whale.
It's literally just a like humpback whale, presumably dead, floating through space, and they have no idea how it got there.
Oh,
And they're like, why the fuck is there a whale in space? Can we reach it? How did it get there? How do we get it down? Why is it there?
oh.
And there's just this big old dead whale floating through space, and
Oh,
it's
that's
the
a
space
cool-
whale SCP. It's one of the ones. There's lots of them that are just, what the fuck is this?
I remember one that was like, it was an anteater that was like a baby anteater that was extremely sensitive to anything. Like if you like gave it like a reasonable pet that you would give like a cat, it would like leave whelps on its skin.
Aww.
Is it BeanCon Salaryman?
I don't remember. It's just like I read it. Like I was just pressing like the random button and just reading whatever came up. And I read that, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
How'd they get through the approval process for that? That just seems pointlessly cruel.
Yeah. Like, if you played music at a normal volume, his ears would bleed.
Oh my god, why?
Like, who's writing this? Is this somebody's weird
Maybe you didn't
torture
read through
thing?
it all the way. Maybe there was like a section where like you find out that they use it to like test for something anomalous, and it's like, oh, this anteater is so sensitive. It's actually the best way to find traces of butthole energy. Or some
Traces
shit.
of gabogium.
Traces of
ants.
traces of frosty chocolate milkshakes.
This anteater is a sensitive snowflake and is offended by everything. And written by Piers Morgan in a drunken rant.
This SCP article written by Rush Limbaugh posthumously.
His corpse wrote it.
Oh God, I saw that thing.
Rush Limbaugh still making episodes of his show after he died as an SCP.
He is an SCP.
Wait, is he?
Rush Limbaugh.
Is Rush Limbaugh really? Like, is there an SP?
Now he is. You gotta write that.
Oh, okay.
Get to it.
Oh, that's
up.
okay.
Up.
Okay.
Oh, episode's over. Taylor's got to write the new SCP
Hold
about
on, but
Rush
one
Limbaugh.
second. This milk looks really good. Let me go ahead and have a sip.
No!
of this really quick.
Taylor, that's mine.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.